okay? Because they mean nothing about your health, really. Okay? So that's a little intro. If you're going to be on a body reshaping plan, what you'll notice if you're looking at a scale is you'll be discouraged. Because it doesn't act like a diet. You don't see the scale going down a lot. In fact, you might not lose much weight at all. You might even put on some weight when you do a body reshaping plan. Okay? What you do notice, however, on a body reshaping plan versus a diet, is you notice that the inches or the centimeters zoom. I mean, they really go fast. Your clothes start to fit totally different very quickly. You can tell you're dropping dress sizes and shirt sizes and everything else, right? Because fat is thick and bulky, right? That's why when you lose fat, you shrink a lot. Muscle is dense and very thin. So if you're losing a lot of weight on the scale, but your clothes aren't changing much, you know you're losing muscle. You get it? That's the difference. So that's what you got to think about. Now, write these numbers down, because I bet you've never heard these before, unless you've been watching YouTube. Okay? This is really important, and I'm sorry that I don't know the equation in kilos. I only know it in pounds, but it's the same concept. Every pound of muscle on your body burns 6 calories an hour. Did you get that? I'll say it again, every pound of muscle on your body burns 6 calories an hour. Every pound of fat on your body burns 2 calories an hour. So muscle burns 3 times more calories per hour than fat. So it's really more about the muscle than it is about the fat, right? Because if you can have muscle, you burn off the fat over time anyway. So this is the key thing. When do you peak in natural muscle on your body? Age 30 is your peak. After that, you start to decline naturally, just genetically. At age 40, you start to lose 1% of your lean tissue per year after age 40. Have you ever been around older people in their 80s or 90s? How much muscle's on their shoulder? None. It's just bones. They lose all their upper body muscle over time. They lose it in their legs and their butt. It's all gone. They get very unstable. They start to tip over and break their hips because they lose muscle. You need to do resistance training at least 3 times a week for the rest of your life so you can maintain your muscle. That's really important. Otherwise, here's what happens. After age 40, you're losing 1% a year. Here comes your muscle coming down, and you don't normally change your diet much. You kind of eat the same. So your body composition, muscle goes down and fat goes up. You just get fatter as time goes on. That's why that happens. So you need some help to counteract that. TR90 actually is designed to support lean tissue, even add lean tissue. And the second thing it does is it reactivates those fat genes so they act more like they did when you were younger, and you don't store fat so easily. And you can mobilize fat and strip it off your body. Okay, so that's a little intro. Now, sorry if I gave you too much information there, but let's just kind of talk a little bit. I brought some pictures with me from my private collection. Okay, so look at this guy. Okay. This young man is really sick, and he doesn't know it. But this big belly he's carrying around right here is called visceral fat. Men carry this dangerous visceral fat right in front, right here. Women carry it about a foot lower right here, around their hips. This is a health risk. If this gentleman doesn't change his ways, he will be a diabetic. That's just what happens. You get syndrome X, and it starts to screw up all your blood chemistry and everything else, right? 30 days, you start to see his muscle's still there. He's not stripping muscle, but he is stripping fat. 90 days, you start to see the six-pack show up. He's got his muscles, and he looks completely different. That's body reshaping. Look at this guy right here. 9% body fat reduction, gained 5% muscle in 90 days on TR90. That's body reshaping. Look at this lady, one of our great leaders, Peggy Crock. She knows I'm showing her picture. Look at this tire Peggy had going right here. Not good. Dangerous, visceral fat. Stripped almost all of it off with TR90, and she's actually in her second 90 days, finishing the rest of it off. Okay? All right? Look at good old Jeffrey. Pretty good pot there, Jeffrey. Stripped it right off, TR90. Look at this gentleman. This guy ended up 7 pounds heavier in 70 days on TR90. He put on 7 pounds of pure muscle with TR90. So if you want to gain muscle, this is actually an incredible product to use. So can you do the math with me real quick? This is where you're going to connect all the dots right now on all the information I've just given you. So here's the math. 7 pounds of muscle, and every one of those pounds burns how many calories an hour? 6. 7 times 6 is 42 more calories per hour that he's now burning that he was not burning before TR90. Let's just do 20 hours a day because I'm not that good at math. That's an extra 800 calories a day that he can now eat without gaining any more weight. Or he can keep his diet the same and just strip the fat. Let that engine just burn the fat off. Did that connect the dots for you a little bit? You see why that works? You see why muscle's so important? You see why you need to resistance train the rest of your life? You better do it. Otherwise you'll lose lean tissue. Okay? Look at this. This is probably the best example I can show you of body reshaping. This lady weighed 1 pound more at the end of 90 days than she did when she started TR90. If she was on a diet and she was going to a diet center, they would have said this is a colossal failure. You didn't lose any weight. You put on a pound. Wouldn't that be misguided? Throw the stupid scale away. It doesn't matter. She totally reshaped her body in 90 days. All right, so are you starting to understand what makes you sexy? What is it? What makes you sexy? Muscle. It's those lines, those definitions that give people shape and form that make them sexy. What does it mean to be skinny fat? There's a new term for you. Skinny fat. What does it mean to be skinny fat? Skinny fat is what happens to people when they go on a diet and they destroy muscle tissue. They look okay in their clothes and the scale went way down, but heaven forbid people see you without your clothes on. Because you got weird bulges. It's sagging and bagging everywhere because you lost your muscle. That's called skinny fat. Don't be skinny fat. Be fit. Look at this man. He had his baby. He looks great. Anybody notice any more muscle right here than right here? Look at that. Look at this guy. You wouldn't think it was the same person, except you can't escape the tattoo. That's pretty lean, isn't it? Look at this one. Side shot before, side shot after. Back shot before, back shot after. Strip fat. That's what's happening, right? Look at Charlie. Our fearless leader, Charlie. Most people would say, wow, he's in pretty good shape right here. Right? Holy smokes, talk about TR90. Amazing. And he's a lot happier, too. Look at that. This is a great example of body reshaping. Same weight when she started as when she finished, but totally reshaped her body. Healthier, stronger, better looking, right? Look at that one. That's what you call stripping fat, keeping muscle. Pretty impressive. Look at this one. This one's a great one. Look at her arm right here. Look at her arm right here. What is that right there? Oh, a little tricep showing up right there. How many of you are sick of your arms flapping in the breeze? Start doing some training, guys. Get some muscle. I'm going to go back to this real quick. Look at the back shot. This lady's got folds of fat hanging over her bra strap. She's got these saddlebags right here. Just stripped them right off. Look at that. Isn't that incredible? Yeah, look at this guy. I met this gentleman. He lives in North Carolina. That's pretty amazing. And Christy from up in Seattle. Look at her face. Look at her arms. Look Look at her stomach and her legs. That's called body reshaping, 90 days. This is an amazing program, you guys. I hope you understand it better now. Okay? All right, enough? Let's talk about